Tonight on ABC News Live Prime, dangerous flooding and tornado damage. Severe storms moving across the country into the Northeast. At least 6 reported tornadoes leave a trail of destruction and widespread damage in the Midwest. The U.S. lifts its blockade on Iranian ports. Ships stranded for more than 100 days, now on the move through the Strait of Hormuz. The AI revolution. Big tech companies are spending billions of dollars to build data centers across the country to power AI, but public backlash to these massive facilities is growing. Our Elizabeth Schulze gets exclusive access to one of Google's data centers in Alabama as the tech giant pulls back the curtain on its operations. An unlikely friendship. In a world so often defined by borders, labels, and conflict, we bring you a story of 2 women from different religions and opposite sides of the world who formed an unexpected bond.
What's your reaction to seeing that perhaps you've changed Rania's life?
She's also changed my life.
And speaking of unlikely relationships, we introduce you to a small Kansas town that's embraced a soccer team from the other side of the world in the biggest of ways.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is Prime with Linsey Davis.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linsey Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us a busy Thursday night. We're tracking several stories breaking this evening. Gunshots in Times Square, crowds running for safety just hours after hundreds of thousands took to the streets of New York to celebrate the Knicks championship win. And in a dramatic new twist, Luigi Mangione's legal team has now withdrawn their intention to invoke a psychiatric defense at his state murder trial. But we do begin with a severe weather outbreak, putting millions on alert. Tornadoes and severe storms on the move across the country. A tornado watch was issued from New York to Maine. And on the Gulf Coast, the remains of Arthur, the first tropical storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, has created life-threatening flooding for some areas. Several flash flood emergencies have been issued in parts of Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi. These areas have seen up to 10 inches of rain. In central Louisiana, up to 26 inches of rain have fallen. In the Midwest, at least 6 tornadoes were reported, leaving a trail of destruction. One twister in central Illinois caused widespread damage. Homes wiped out, trees and power lines knocked down. Senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg is standing by with the forecast. But first, here's Faith Abube in the storm zone.
Tonight, families in waist-deep water looking for dry land. Flash flood emergencies fueled by remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. In Stone County, Mississippi, rescuers in boats using paddles to pound on windows, pulling people and pets from multiple inundated RVs. More than 2 feet of rain in spots. Destruction outside New Orleans and Avondale. At least 2 people were hurt after a likely tornado slammed into this neighborhood. A separate system spawning multiple tornadoes overnight. Debris flying as this twister tears up property east of St. Louis in Teutopolis, Illinois. First responders tending to multiple injured, carrying this person to safety.
Jesus. Oh, it's going to hit that farm.
This terrifying twister spotted not far from there in Effingham, hurling debris right next to the highway. Our Ginger Z on the ground.
On the tornado video, you can see the suction vortices, but the damage tells that story too. From Mid-America Motorworks, the building destroyed, other outposts destroyed, vehicles also wrecked, and that Sprinter van thrown in the middle of that field.
Northwest of there, in Blue Mound, Illinois, a school roof ripped open, lumber piercing walls and roofs. The system now targeting the Northeast.
Just unbelievable images of destruction there. Faith joins us now from Mobile, Alabama. And Faith, what are conditions like where you are?
Well, Lindsay, the intense rain bands have been on and off here in this area. You can see the road closed sign behind me. Several roads around the Mobile area have been closed, but some drivers have been ignoring these signs. Officials are telling people to stay off the road because in the next 24 hours or so, we could see up to another foot of rain in this area. Lindsay.
An already drenched area. Faith Abube, our thanks to you. And let's get right to ABC's senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Lee, what are you tracking at this hour?
Storms moving out of the northeast, Lindsay, and the ongoing flood threat in the south, and flood threat and tornado threat. We had a tornado watch across parts of New England, which will be expiring early in the evening hours. Some really strong storms moving from Worcester to Boston back to Hartford. And even in the wake of this, we have some pretty strong winds still can cause some power outages in the overnight. But the remnants of Arthur are still causing devastating flooding across the south. You know, we had a stationary supercell thunderstorm over Louisiana that had a tornado threat and over 2 feet of rain. Incredible flooding. That flood threat goes all the way into Georgia. Tornado watches there. Multiple flash flood emergencies during the day. A level 4 out of 4. That area in pink, up to 6 inches per hour rainfall rates and up to 20 inches total significant flooding possible. That flood threat, it's still there tomorrow. Shifts a little farther east from Mobile into Montgomery, but the overall flood threat from San Antonio all the way to Jacksonville as the remnants of Arthur begin to move offshore. Things will be quieting down a little bit into the weekend, but there'll still be waves of showers. Lindsay?
What a wide expanse there. All right, Lee Goldberg for us. Thanks so much, Lee. Now to a scare in the heart of New York City. Gunshots ringing out there in Times Square, sending huge crowds running for cover. It comes as an estimated 2 million people gathered in the city to celebrate the New York Knicks. ABC's Matt Rivers joins us now with the latest. Matt.
Yeah, Lindsay, that terrifying sound of gunfire echoing throughout Times Square right in broad daylight. Let's listen again. Now, those gunshots sending a massive crowd running for their lives. Video showing the terrifying scene. Hundreds of people rushing to take cover. NYPD officers then seen racing to the scene after a call for shots fired near West 44th Street and 7th Avenue around 3:30 this afternoon. Officials saying a large fight had broken out, and officers then observed a person of interest firing a weapon. That suspect then arrested. One person, we're told, was slashed. Officers say they did recover a gun. This happened just a short time after millions of people were out on the streets celebrating the Knicks championship parade. Lindsay, no injuries were reported, but obviously a terrifying scene there right in the heart of New York City. Lindsay?
Any additional information about what caused this?
Yes, police are still trying to figure that out, but it does appear that a large fight, what officials actually described as a melee, breaking out there in Times Square, and then the gunfire happened shortly thereafter, so it's likely that the two are linked, but officials still trying to get to the bottom of it.
All right, Matt Rivers, our thanks to you. And of course, this all played out amid heightened security in New York City. A massive turnout today, an estimated 2 million fans lining the streets of Lower Manhattan celebrating the New York Knicks. A massive police presence, more than 10,000 officers deployed to keep fans and the team safe. Our chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky right there in the midst of it all.
Tonight in New York City, pure joy. An estimated 2 million people pouring into Lower Manhattan, exalting the Knicks.
Let's go Knicks! Let's go Knicks!
A grateful city uniting over its first NBA championship in 53 years.
This is history. How can't you not be a part of this? This is history right now.
They came in packed subway cars or on foot over the Brooklyn Bridge. A crush of blue and orange clad revelers shutting the streets for hours. Viewing areas reached capacity early, but no one wanted to miss out. Determined fans climbed trucks, scaffolding, and lampposts to glimpse their newest heroes. At one point, police stopped Knicks guard Tyler Kolek as he celebrated with fans, appearing not to recognize him. Kolek joking on social media, "I swear I'm on the team." When the parade reached City Hall, the mayor paid tribute.
So often when this city comes together, it is because we are forced to, by a moment of tragedy or adversity. What a gift it is to be brought together by pure, unfiltered joy.
Finals MVP Jalen Brunson basked in the glory.
Damn, New York, we really did it, man. We really did it. Wouldn't trade this for a world.
The mayor handed the Knicks keys to the city before Alicia Keys serenaded the champs with her New York anthem. They're cleaning up all the confetti now, Lindsay, but the elation that has overtaken this city over the Knicks and their championship is bound to linger for some time. Lindsay?
We can imagine. All right, Aaron, thank you. Alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangioni's defense team is doing an about-face from just 24 hours ago. Let's get right to ABC's Rhiannon Alley. So, Rhiannon, what do we know?
Lindsay, this is a complete reversal from defense lawyers for Luigi Mangioni. It was just 24 hours ago that his lawyers revealed they were planning to use a psychiatric defense in his upcoming trial, claiming during that time Mangioni was suffering an extreme emotional disturbance and was not in control of himself when prosecutors say he gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Well, today they have just done a total U-turn. It comes as his attorneys face a deadline today to turn over records of Mangioni's psychiatric history to prosecutors, but they are not revealing why they are changing this defense, Lindsay.
All right, Rhiannon, will this change the trial date?
At this point, that trial is still set to begin in September.
All right, Rhiannon Alley for us. Thanks so much. In a unanimous decision today, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government cannot strip gun rights from people simply because they have a history of illegal drug use. The decision focused on a case involving a Texas gun owner who used marijuana several times a week. Our senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer joins us now for more. So, Devin, let's start by just breaking this ruling down for us.
Yeah, Lindsay, this was a major gun rights decision. For 60 years, federal law has banned guns for any American who's an unlawful user of or addicted to a controlled substance, even when you're not intoxicated. And that has largely impacted mostly the millions of Americans who now consume cannabis, marijuana, on a regular basis. 40 states have legalized it in some form. And what the Supreme Court said earlier today, an opinion by Justice Neil Gorsuch, is that that language is simply too broad. It's unconstitutional to make it a crime to have a gun in your possession simply because you may smoke pot a couple times a week. And that's what happened to the plaintiff in this case, Ali Hamani. He was prosecuted for just that. Justice Gorsuch saying that you cannot be prosecuted, sent behind bars for up to 15 years and lose your Second Amendment rights simply because you consume a substance like marijuana, Lindsay. So a big impact here, although I will add as a caveat that the court did say its decision was narrow. It does not affect ban on guns for people who are addicts, who are a threat to themselves or others, or who are felons, Lindsay.
And what do you make of the fact that this decision was unanimous?
Who would have thought a gun rights decision would get a unanimous ruling and be a complete loss for Donald Trump? The Trump administration was defending this law and the fact that even occasional users of marijuana should not be allowed to have a gun. He lost here, the court won, and it was done unanimously. In fact, in a concurring opinion, Lindsay, Justice Samuel Alito, staunch conservative, joined Justice Elena Kagan, staunch liberal, in writing that most Americans are okay with marijuana now. It's a lot like alcohol. We don't ban guns for people who drink beers a couple times a week, they wrote.
And we also have just a few weeks remaining before the justices begin their summer recess. Which big decisions are we still waiting on?
Yeah, we have more than a dozen big cases still to come down. The next decision day is Tuesday. We're waiting to see whether the court will uphold state bans on transgender athletes in girls' sports, whether the president will be allowed for the first time ever to fire a member of the Federal Reserve Bank, Lisa Cook. Donald Trump is trying to do that. Whether states can count late arriving mail ballots that were postmarked on time by Election Day. A group of Republicans is challenging that. They want the justices to end that practice. And of course, the blockbuster marquee case of the year, Lindsay, is whether President Trump can end birthright citizenship, redefine who becomes an American at birth. We expect that they will strike that down, but we'll see. In the next possible day is on Tuesday, Lindsay.
All right. We know that you'll be following it for us. Devin, thank you.
You bet.
The U.S. has lifted its blockade on Iranian ports. Ships stranded for up to 109 days are now on the move through the Strait of Hormuz. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed the U.S. deal with Iran is now in effect, but appeared to contradict what's actually in the agreement. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce reports from the White House.
24 hours after signing the peace deal, President Trump under fire from top Republicans on Capitol Hill, who called the deal a win for Iran.
Iran's left stronger. We are left weaker.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
The chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee calls the deal a windfall for Iran.
We're going to lift sanctions on Iran's oil exports right away. They're going to use it to rebuild their drone stockpiles, their missiles, to fund Hamas and to fund Hezbollah.
Iran can now freely sell oil on the global market, something they were not able to do before the war. I pressed Vice President J.D. Vance about that.
And they're being allowed to do that without making any new concrete nuclear commitments. So can you explain how is that not lopsided?
Well, first of all, they've made very concrete nuclear commitments. They have committed to the destruction of the highly enriched stockpile that they have in their possession. But number two, all we've done is lift the blockade in the Straits of Hormuz. We basically returned it to where it was before the conflict.
But in the document, Iran does not commit to destroying its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. As for money, the U.S. pledges to work to unfreeze some $24 billion in Iranian assets and to help create a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran. Vance dismissing critics with an especially harsh warning for anguished Israelis, America's partners in this war, but not in this deal.
Anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in.
Mary Bruce joins us now from the White House. So, Mary, what are Republicans concerned that Iran will do?
Well, Lindsay, simply put, many Republicans here in Washington fear that Iran is going to benefit from this deal and that they will use any money they receive to rebuild their military and fund terrorism. But again, speaking with reporters here at the White House today, the vice president was adamant that Iran will only benefit if they meet certain benchmarks and show they are making progress, though he didn't explain what those benchmarks would be. But, Lindsay, that simply is not what is outlined in this actual document.
Mary Bruce for us. Thanks so much, Mary. Tonight, new problems are turning up at the reflecting pool on the National Mall after President Trump's $14 million renovation. First, it was algae that turned the water green. Now, a much-hyped paint job appears to be falling apart. Here's our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Carl, with that story.
Tonight, Washington's iconic reflecting pool is looking dirty and green. The brand new coat of blue paint already peeling off the bottom.
All told, they spent $14 million to paint the bottom of this reflecting pool American flag blue. But if you take a look, not only has the green of the algae come back, but look at that American flag blue in the paint. It's actually starting to peel. It's coming up.
No comment on that yet from the White House. The company that painted the pool had virtually no experience as a federal contractor.
It'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything.
By last week, the pool was blue and beautiful. 2 days later, it started to turn green. 4 days after that, algae everywhere. Today, workers were wading through the pool, cleaning out the algae and the dirt.
Just last night, the Trump administration put out a statement on social media saying that the water in the reflecting pool was, quote, crystal clear. Well, I spent quite a bit of time down there today looking all around, and needless to say, although the workers were down there trying to pump out that algae, trying to clear it out, it is anything but crystal clear right now. Lindsay?
Yeah, murky at this point. All right, John Carl, our thanks to you. New developments in the alleged plot that targeted the UFC fight at the White House over the weekend. ABC News has obtained body camera video that shows authorities at the home of Tyson Proper in Knox County, Ohio. According to a criminal complaint, Proper's mother called deputies after she saw her son's collection of guns and tactical gear. 5 suspects have been arrested. The FBI said the plot included explosive drones and snipers that targeted top government officials at last weekend's event. This week, the Trump administration announced it would shift oversight of civil rights and special education programs from the Education Department to other federal agencies as part of the administration's broader effort to dismantle the Department of Education. Education Secretary Linda McMahon is now facing a call for impeachment from one House Democrat who accuses McMahon of transferring Education Department programs illegally without congressional approval. Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman from Oregon and member of the House Education Committee, Representative Suzanne Bonamici. Thank you so much for your time, Congresswoman.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. Thanks for having me on.
Yesterday, of course, you announced your plans to introduce a resolution to impeach Secretary McMahon. What, in your estimation, makes this an impeachable offense?
Well, what this education secretary and this administration are doing violates the law. The Department of Education was created by Congress. Only Congress could dismantle it. And I tell you, Lindsay, I'm a policymaker, but I'm also a mom, and I've been a public education advocate for decades. And I just couldn't stand by any longer and watch this administration decimate public education. And that's exactly what this will do.
In a Fox News op-ed published on Tuesday, Secretary McMahon wrote that, quote, "Our goal in this partnership is to break down the bureaucratic barriers and strengthening the coordination of resources." What's your response to administration officials who say that this decision will remove red tape and make it easier for families to access these programs?
I absolutely disagree with that 100%. And so do many of the advocates for children with disabilities in particular, because what is happening, first of all, these are education programs. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, it's an education law. It belongs at the Department of Education. The Office of Civil Rights has long been at the Department of Education because these are cases dealing with discrimination in public education. The expertise is there. And what we have seen with the programs this administration has already sent to other agencies is that it doesn't make it more efficient. It makes it less efficient and creates more bureaucracy. Because now, for example, what are parents going to do? Are they supposed to go to the Department of Health and Human Services or to whatever's left of the Department of Education? So it's not going to make things better. And that's why many organizations, especially those that deal with students with disabilities, there's been an outcry. And especially since I have mentioned that I will be introducing this impeachment resolution, I've heard from many different organizations. The Education Law Center, for example, agrees this is illegal. It is Congress that created these departments. Congress put them at the Department of Education. They can't do this without Congress.
Since Republicans currently have the majority in Congress, though, wouldn't this resolution essentially be dead on arrival?
Well, I hope not. And I'll tell you why. Because public schools serve about 90% of the students in this country. And overall, people are really appreciative of public education. They want to see it work. And the more we see the efforts to dismantle the Department of Education, the more people are concerned about what that means for their communities. So I hope it's not dead on arrival. And if my Republican colleagues are listening to their constituents, like I'm listening to mine, extremely concerned about the chaos this is going to cause and the harm it's going to cause for students. If the IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, is moved out, and the Office of Civil Rights, to put that in Trump's Justice Department, we're not going to see discrimination cases prosecuted.
Congresswoman Bonamici, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I encourage people to call their representative and ask them to sign onto the resolution.
And tonight, heart-stopping video of a toddler being rescued from a hot car. Body cam video shows a deputy in Clark County, Washington, smashing the window after a 2-year-old boy was spotted in a car seat, sweating heavily and not responding. Investigators say the child was in the car for nearly 16 minutes when it was 92 degrees outside. The child was treated by medics. Deputies said that the parents told them they didn't realize the danger because they had only been gone a short time. The parents now face reckless endangerment charges. The NTSB has recovered the black boxes from Tuesday's fatal plane crash in Laredo, Texas. New images also show what appears to be a midair explosion just before the small plane crashed on a highway. 1 person died. 5 people were rescued by motorists. In Chicago today, it was a celebration more than a decade in the making. Former presidents and a list of celebrities among the hundreds who turned up at the opening ceremony for the Obama Presidential Center. Tonight, the touching tribute from former First Lady Michelle Obama that brought a tear to her husband's eye. Alex Perez is in Chicago tonight.
A star-studded celebration for the grand opening of the Barack Obama Presidential Center on Chicago's South Side. 3 former presidents and first ladies joining the Obamas in the city where it all started with that victory speech nearly 2 decades ago. The former first lady today honoring her husband's character.
You have made me a better person and have given us all an example that we should strive to emulate. And I hope you know, there is truly no higher calling than that.
And President Obama addressing our divided nation today.
People aren't looking for perpetual anger and division. They are looking for fairness and common sense and mutual respect. That deep in our gut, we want to find a way to turn towards each other again, not further away.
He's now hoping the 19-acre campus with a museum, library, and park will bring people together.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? Well, this is your park, so you can play here anytime.
The former president telling our Robin Roberts in a new interview they hope the center builds connection and community.
I think so often we think that somehow politics and policy and civics and that's all dry and yeah. And the truth is that democracy works partly because we enjoy being with people and we get to know our neighbors and we play it and we have fun.
And today, in a show of community, thousands turning out for a jam-packed concert. Stevie Wonder bringing the Obamas to their feet.
Stevie Wonder back with the Obamas, just like the campaign trail days, signed, sealed, delivered. Alex Perez joins us tonight. Alex, can you give us a sense of what it was like being there today and the standout moments for you?
Yeah, Lindsay, it wasn't a campaign rally, but it very much felt like one. There was so much energy on the ground here. Now, things that stood out, I think, from everyone I talked to here, those speeches from former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, they talked a lot about hope and inspiration. And they said those are the things they are expecting people will find when they visit the center here, hope and inspiration to continue to be integral parts of democracy. That's what they want people to do when they come here. Now, the center opens officially to the public tomorrow on Juneteenth. They're expecting about 1 million visitors a year here. Lindsay?
All right, Alex Perez for us. Thanks so much, Alex. And Robin Roberts has an exclusive interview with former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama in their first network TV interview since leaving the White House together. The Obama Legacy streams tonight on Disney Plus and Hulu. Still ahead, we are 1 week into the World Cup hosted by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. We'll look at the financial benefits the tournament could bring by the numbers. And some relief is coming for those paying off student loans. We'll tell you what's happening with interest rates. Plus, our exclusive look inside one of Google's cutting-edge data centers powering the AI boom in America. Welcome back, everyone. Now to the AI revolution. Big tech companies are spending billions of dollars to build data centers around the country to power AI, but public backlash to these massive facilities is growing, and many Americans don't know how this critical infrastructure actually works. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze got exclusive access to one of Google's data centers in Alabama as the tech giant pulls back the curtain on its operations.
In the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in Alabama, where a former coal plant once roared,
all of these lines came out of that old coal plant.
Now a different kind of hum from a sprawling Google AI data center.
How big is this site?
So the property is just over 600 acres.
600 acres.
It's a fairly large property. We've only developed less than a quarter of it so far.
Amid growing pushback against the rapid build-out of data centers nationwide,
there's been remarkably fast backlash to building out these data centers.
It has surprised me a bit.
Google is pulling back the curtain. Site manager Thomas Gamble gives us a rare exclusive look at the campus, including its high-security server room.
Here we go, going in.
Security here so tight, it took 6 stages and a full facial scan to get in.
You're good to go. We're in.
And the room is so loud, we need earplugs.
Good.
If you think about when you first turn on a computer and start it up and you hear that noise, that's what you're hearing right now.
This is like out of sci-fi.
Inside, we see thousands of advanced computer chips that are stored in trays and racks, processing information 24/7.
So if you're looking at your Gmail or your YouTube videos or you're pulling up maps, all of that is getting processed on these servers right here and sent through these networking cables out to you on your device.
The actual internet is running right here.
It is running right here. We do all of Google's services. We do important services for hospitals and 911 call centers. We're processing all of that information and sending it out to users right here.
These servers running nonstop can overheat. We see pipes filled with cold water to keep the room cool.
Does it not work if it's too hot?
Components can fail if they get too hot.
Once we step outside, the noise is hard to hear. Then we follow the massive pipes across the campus to a row of 10 towers where the water is cooled.
We're going to go up here?
Yep.
Giant fans draw air across cooling towers where evaporation helps chill the water before it's pumped through the pipes.
When people see data centers, they see what looks like pollution, emissions. What this is...
This is the same water that comes from the facility that goes to everyone's home in the community. It's treated water. We're just using it as a cooling medium.
Water vapor, not
We're using water.
emissions.
Warm water coming out, cool water back in, recycled at least 7 times.
How do you make sure when it's a really hot day you're using only your water and not the neighborhoods?
But we have meters, so we've got agreements with them on how much water we can or can't use that dictates what load we have.
This data center's been up and running since 2019.
It's an active construction site.
And this week, Google announced a $1.5 billion expansion.
So this construction right now is to expand the data center even more.
Yes. We're looking to add future buildings on this campus to meet the growing customer demand and the needs of our users.
A move the company says will bring in 1,000 temporary construction jobs.
A lot of people say these data centers bring jobs, but only for a short time when they're building, and then not that many people actually work here.
No, there's always an influx of jobs for construction. Anytime you build anything, you're going to have a larger influx for construction. But I will say here at Google, we have a significant amount of jobs we've brought to the community.
In your view, this adds jobs versus takes them away?
This does add jobs. I mean, in this site where we're at, the previous coal facility was on the same property. And when that closed, that was a lot of jobs that left this community that we've been able to come back and replace all those jobs plus more.
As tech giants race to build the infrastructure to power the AI boom, recent Gallup polling shows 71% of Americans oppose the construction of AI data centers in their areas, citing concerns over strained resources, noise, and higher utility bills. In town halls across the country, our team has witnessed frustration and outrage over the rapid build-out of these data centers to power AI.
People are getting steamrolled.
At least 14 states have now proposed a pause on new data center sites.
We see across the country there's so much negativity, concern about these data centers on people's bills, on water, just on it coming into the community.
There's a lot of negative sentiments as we're building. We're trying to figure out the best, most efficient use of all the power, the water, any of the systems we can.
Gamble shows us how this site has built its own power substation.
This puts us on an island separate of the rest.
Ensuring Google pays for all of the massive amounts of electricity used here, instead of having neighbors foot the bill. A pledge the company has made nationwide.
The best analogy about a data center is we're just a lot of servers that's storing information just like books are in your library.
People do not think of data centers like public libraries right now.
But it's just a very large public library because we're organizing the world's information and making the systems operate.
Helpful information there. Our thanks to Elizabeth Schulze for that. Coming up, how much of an economic boom is the World Cup for the U.S. hosting cities? We'll examine by the numbers. And the FDA is backing the first of its kind flu vaccine that uses the same technology key to ending the COVID pandemic. Welcome back to Prime, everyone. Here's a look at the stories making headlines right now. Tornadoes and severe storms are moving across the country. A tornado watch was issued from New York to Maine. And on the Gulf Coast, the remains of Arthur, the first tropical storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, has caused life-threatening flooding for some areas. In the Midwest, at least 6 tornadoes were reported, leaving a trail of destruction. One twister in central Illinois caused widespread damage. Homes wiped out, trees and power lines knocked down. President Trump faces backlash from top Republicans over the agreement that he signed with Iran. The chairman of the Senate Intel Committee, Tom Cotton, called the deal a windfall for Tehran. The memorandum of understanding extends the ceasefire for 60 days, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, and ends the U.S. blockade. The U.S. also agrees to release billions in frozen Iranian assets and also lift sanctions. Meanwhile, Iran only commits to discussing limits on its nuclear program, but nothing about destroying its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. A federal appeals court ruled that the Trump administration can replace a slavery exhibit at George Washington's home in Philadelphia. Today's ruling comes after the administration stated in a court filing on Wednesday that it removed panels at the exhibit, some of which were restored in February following a judge's orders because they allegedly disparage Americans. The outdoor memorial From Enslavement to Emancipation is located at Independence National Historic Park. The exhibit tells the stories of 9 people enslaved by Washington. And some good news for millions of Americans paying off student loans. The Department of Education announced it will temporarily drop interest rates by 1% to those enrolled in automatic payments. The reduction begins July 1st and runs through June 2028. If you have not enrolled in auto pay and want to take advantage of this rate cut, you have until September 30th to enroll. The change only applies to people with loans that were taken out after July 1st of 2012. Still ahead, the World Cup is well underway. What kind of economic boost will it bring? Welcome back, everyone. It has officially been 1 week since the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicked off, and tourists from all over the world have made the journey here to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada to watch 48 teams battle for soccer's ultimate prize. The tournament has long expected the influx of visiting soccer fans to bring a major economic boost, though just how much of a boost and where remains to be seen. Let's look at what we know so far by the numbers. Before the tournament, FIFA predicted the World Cup could generate $30.5 billion for the economy in the U.S. The organization projected that just over 6.5 million fans total would attend matches in person throughout the tournament and said it assumed that 40% of spectators would be foreign tourists. FIFA says already more than 1.3 million total fans attended games in the first 6 days of matches. The actual benefit, especially within travel spending, remains to be seen. Expedia reported this month that Monterrey, Mexico had an 80% year-over-year spike in lodging searches, and New Jersey, the site of the final, has seen a 40% year-over-year spike in flight searches. However, the American Hotel and Lodging Association said last month that about 80% of surveyed hoteliers reported bookings were tracking below expectations, though the association's president and CEO recently told ABC News that the industry does expect late bookings to increase. Still ahead, how fans can get their hands on limited edition World Cup coins. Plus, Waymo recalls thousands of robo-taxis because of a potentially dangerous driving glitch. And the end of an era, what experts are saying about the ancient tree tied to the legend of Robin Hood. A recall on robo-taxis, commemorative World Cup coins, and global sensation Mr. Beast teams up with a best-selling author. These stories and more in tonight's Rundown. Waymo says it's recalling nearly 4,000 vehicles with software that might cause the vehicle to drive through closed construction zones, which increases the risk of a crash. Waymo's Field Safety Committee first became aware of the issue in April after 6 incidents in Phoenix, Arizona, where its vehicles failed to recognize ramp closure signs and drove straight into construction zones. The company imposed freeway driving restrictions, but 7 similar incidents were reported a month later in San Francisco. After reviewing the events, Waymo issued a voluntary recall and says a fix for the issue is still under development. The FDA is evaluating a new kind of flu vaccine based on some of the same technology that was used to develop COVID vaccines. A panel of public health experts are reviewing Moderna's new mRNA flu shot for people over the age of 50. There are already several flu vaccines available, but this one would be the first one made with mRNA technology, which allows for faster development of critical vaccines. Lifeguards helped rescue an elderly driver after he accidentally crashed his Tesla into a community pool in Connecticut. The car apparently plowed through a fence and set up trees before plunging into the water. Police say the driver was trying to park at the time. Fortunately, the pool was closed when it happened and no one was injured. The driver is expected to be okay. A giant ancient tree in the United Kingdom dubbed the Robin Hood oak tree has died, according to local scientists. The gigantic tree, which stands at the heart of Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire, is estimated to be around 1,200 years old. This year, the tree failed to produce any leaves, which led experts to their diagnosis. Stories of the tree sheltering legendary outlaw Robin Hood have made it famous and has been a magnet for tourists over the past 2 centuries. Teams will continue to monitor the tree's health, and it will remain in the forest as a natural monument for visitors and local wildlife. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is now being immortalized with its own set of commemorative coins. Designs feature a soccer player making a kick, as well as the official World Cup emblem and trophy. Authorized by Congress, each coin is crafted to be rich in symbolic history and cultural significance. The Mint says the limited edition $50, silver dollar, and $5 gold coins will only be available this year, and sales from the coins will go towards supporting youth soccer programs across the country. Best-selling author James Patterson is teaming up with YouTube star Mr. Beast to release a new book later this year. The thriller novel, titled The Most Dangerous Games, follows a group of 100 people competing in a deadly arena for a $1 billion prize. Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, said he wanted to make something that would draw young people in and get a whole generation psyched about reading again. Publisher HarperCollins says the book will be available on September 1st. In a world so often defined by borders, labels, and conflict, two women from different religions from opposite sides of the world form an unlikely bond. Their story is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful bridge between people is simple. It takes an understanding and a willingness to see one another's humanity to cross that distance.
Let me add olive oil first. Okay. My mom, she's telling me we need until here.
Okay. Your mom knows best.
Baking is simple. You take separate ingredients, mix them together.
I need to add more flour, definitely.
Yeah, definitely more flour.
Okay.
And ultimately something better rises after prolonged heat.
I think this is good. They're gonna put it here.
That's the story of Carol and Rania, a young Palestinian woman teaching an old family recipe, a Jewish grandmother eager to learn every step.
I love to be taught. Rania's taught me many things. It's the first time she's taught me cooking.
The recipe is called manayish.
We can put it in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
A simple bread Rania grew up eating in Gaza.
It's a brunch and a breakfast. And we actually eat this a lot in the war. And it's healthy, cheap, and tastes good.
18-year-old Rania knows what it means to survive on very little. She grew up in Gaza. But in 2023, after Israel unleashed its military power onto Gaza in the wake of October 7th, Rania and her family felt they had no choice but to leave their home and their livelihoods. Her dad was an engineer for the UN, her mom a lawyer. And so under the rubble and the sound of bombs, they managed to do what so many were unable to. They got out of Gaza. They eventually made their way to Saudi Arabia, where one of Rania's sisters lives.
What did you take with you?
What we could put in our pockets. Besides my home key and my grandmother's home key that I took from Gaza. I have nothing there.
That key now serves as a memory of her home in Gaza that once stood tall. But in Saudi Arabia, far from the explosions, another loss awaited, the loss of a future. As a refugee, she could not attend school.
They were like, you're a refugee and wait until Allah will come for you and will solve your problem. And I told him, wait until when? Until your government gonna issue a law? I really need to go to school. I already lost 1 year in the war and I couldn't give up.
So she sent a message into the world, a plea for help, to Gershon Baskin, a former hostage negotiator and peace activist who also has a large social media following.
I texted him this message. I am stranded in Saudi Arabia. I'm the youngest. And all of my siblings already finished high school and everything. And I'm stuck. I need help. And then he saw my message and then he posted on his account.
Thousands of miles away in New Jersey, someone saw it. Someone she likely never expected. A Jewish educator named Carol.
And I had been, for a long time, just asking the universe for something to do to help people from Gaza. The first person I reached out to was Chris Downs, who is the head of admissions at Woodstock Academy. And Chris said, we have a program for displaced students, and we have a scholarship fund for displaced students. I think we might be able to admit them.
Rania and her parents eventually made their way to the United States, and with Carol's help, Rania was able to attend the Woodstock Academy in Connecticut. A new country, new language, a new life.
My school was really, really supportive place for me. They welcomed me. They allowed me to share my culture.
How much English could you speak before you got to Woodstock?
I wouldn't understand when the person talked to me. I think Carol will tell you how much overwhelmed I was in the beginning. that I was thinking that I am not that brave enough. I knew that I experienced hard things in my life, but I didn't know that I would go over this culture shock. Every time I'm feeling this culture shock, I was like, better than going back on a war.
And slowly, the girl who arrived carrying loss began to build something new, a future, a community, a voice, one powerful enough to receive a standing ovation last weekend after she was chosen to give a speech at her high school graduation.
In Palestinian culture, storytelling is not just something we enjoy. It's something we grew up on as children to help us understand what's the world look like. I invite you to tell your stories and use your voice, not just for yourself, but for everyone whose voice are not heard.
When you look at this blossoming seed right here sitting next to you, what's your reaction to seeing that perhaps you've changed Rania's life?
She's also changed my life.
How so?
Most people don't even cross that line. And so it's me and Rania, but it's a bigger thing. Like, you're like my sister, my friend.
Does it have sugar? No sugar. How is this so sweet?
At a time when war has hardened opinions and fault lines between Palestinians, Israelis, and Jews around the world, their friendship offers something increasingly rare, the willingness to see the humanity in someone else's story.
Prior to meeting Carol, what kinds of interactions had you had with Jewish people?
We had no Jewish people in Gaza, none. But thankfully, my family was open-minded. My family really wants to learn. Inside myself, I knew that everyone is different. I can't judge a religion or I can't judge a thought,
For Carol, her outspoken support for Rania and the Palestinian people has caused rifts within her own community.
People were just, saying really cruel and unkind things. Once you really feel in your own body like we're all people, that feeling doesn't go away.
And so you have no regrets?
No. I'm a much, much more courageous person than before October 7th.
It wasn't even a year ago when you started looking at colleges.
This fall, Rania will attend Smith College, where she plans to study genetic engineering. A Palestinian refugee and a Jewish-American grandmother, bound not by politics, but by something stronger, compassion.
I don't know, I feel like we were sisters in another life. We believe in the same thing.
So it says, على هذه الأرض ما يستحق الحياة. It means deserves lies in this land. In Arabic we say, there is one gift that God gives you once in your life, and it's really big. And I think mine came too early, at the age of 16, when I met Carol.
The world could certainly benefit from more Carols and Ranias. We thank them so much for sharing their story with us. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Linsey Davis. Be sure to stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Have a great night. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linsey Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Here are the headlines we're tracking at this hour. A joyful celebration in New York City today. Hundreds of thousands of fans line the streets to celebrate the Knicks' first NBA championship in 53 years. But then just hours later, gunfire erupted in the heart of the city after what police say was a large fight. Video shows crowds running for safety. A suspect is now in custody. Plus, President Trump is facing fierce backlash from top Republicans who call the ceasefire deal with Iran a win for Tehran. But we begin with a severe weather outbreak putting millions on alert. Tornadoes and severe storms on the move across the country. A tornado watch was issued from New York to Maine. And on the Gulf Coast, the remains of Tropical Storm Arthur has created life-threatening flooding for some areas. Our Faith Abube is in the storm zone and leads us off.
Tonight, families in waist-deep water looking for dry land. Flash flood emergencies fueled by remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. In Stone County, Mississippi, rescuers in boats using paddles to pound on windows, pulling people and pets from multiple inundated RVs. More than 2 feet of rain in spots. Destruction outside New Orleans and Avondale. At least 2 people were hurt after a likely tornado slammed into this neighborhood. A separate system spawning multiple tornadoes overnight. Debris flying as this twister tears up property east of St. Louis in Teutopolis, Illinois. First responders tending to multiple injured, carrying this person to safety.
Jesus. Oh, it's gonna hit that farm.
This terrifying twister spotted not far from there in Effingham, hurling debris right next to the highway. Our Ginger Z on the ground.
On the tornado video, you can see the suction vortices, but the damage tells that story too. From Mid-America Motor Works, the building destroyed, other outposts destroyed, vehicles also wrecked, and that Sprinter van thrown in the middle of that field.
Northwest of there, in Blue Mound, Illinois, a school roof ripped open, lumber piercing walls and roofs. The system now targeting the Northeast.
Our thanks to Faith. And let's get right to ABC's senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Lee, what are you tracking at this hour?
Storms moving out of the Northeast, Lindsay, and the ongoing flood threat in the south, and flood threat and tornado threat. We had a tornado watch across parts of New England, which will be expiring early in the evening hours. Some really strong storms moving from Worcester to Boston back to Hartford. And even in the wake of this, we have some pretty strong winds still can cause some power outages in the overnight. But the remnants of Arthur are still causing devastating flooding across the south. You know, we had a stationary supercell thunderstorm over Louisiana that had a tornado threat and over 2 feet of rain. Incredible flooding. That flood threat goes all the way into Georgia. Tornado watches there. Multiple flash flood emergencies during the day. A level 4 out of 4. That area in pink, up to 6 inches per hour rainfall rates and up to 20 inches total significant flooding possible. That flood threat, it's still there tomorrow. Shifts a little farther east from Mobile into Montgomery, but the overall flood threat from San Antonio all the way to Jacksonville as the remnants of Arthur begin to move offshore. Things will be quieting down a little bit into the weekend, but there'll still be waves of showers. Lindsay?
What a wide expanse there. All right, Lee Goldberg for us. Thanks so much, Lee. The U.S. has lifted its blockade on Iranian ports. Ships stranded for up to 109 days are now on the move through the Strait of Hormuz. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed the U.S. deal with Iran is now in effect, but appeared to contradict exactly what's in the agreement. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce reports from the White House.
24 hours after signing the peace deal, President Trump under fire from top Republicans on Capitol Hill, who called the deal a win for Iran.
Iran's left stronger. We are left weaker.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
The chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee calls the deal a windfall for Iran.
We're going to lift sanctions on Iran's oil exports right away. They're going to use it to rebuild their drone stockpiles, their missiles, to fund Hamas and to fund Hezbollah.
Iran can now freely sell oil on the global market, something they were not able to do before the war. I pressed Vice President J.D. Vance about that.
And they're being allowed to do that without making any new concrete nuclear commitments. So can you explain how is that not lopsided?
Well, first of all, they've made very concrete nuclear commitments. They have committed to the destruction of the highly enriched stockpile that they have in their possession. But number two, all we've done is lift the blockade in the Straits of Hormuz. We basically returned it to where it was before the conflict.
But in the document, Iran does not commit to destroying its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. As for money, the U.S. pledges to work to unfreeze some $24 billion in Iranian assets and to help create a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran. Vance dismissing critics with an especially harsh warning for anguished Israelis, America's partners in this war, but not in this deal.
Anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the president of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in.
Our thanks to Mary Bruce. A New Jersey congressman who has faced questions over his disappearance from Capitol Hill says he'll return to Congress at the end of the month. A representative says Republican Tom Kean will be back in D.C. on June 30th after his months-long absence with an undisclosed medical issue. Kean is likely to face questions about what medical condition barred him from being in Congress or in the public eye at all. He's also set to face a difficult re-election campaign in the midterm elections. Developing tonight, a major reversal from Luigi Mangione's legal team. A court filing shows the defense withdrew its intention to invoke a psychiatric defense. It comes just one day after the defense announced plans to argue that Mangione suffered extreme emotional disturbance before he allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione faced a deadline today to turn over records of his psychiatric history to prosecutors. He has pleaded not guilty in the case. His trial is set for September. We move on now overseas. Ukraine launched one of the biggest drone attacks on Russia overnight since the start of the war, with a direct hit on a key oil refinery outside of Moscow. The attacks blasted the massive lid of a storage tank hundreds of feet into the air. Toxic smoke from the blaze was seen for miles. Apartment buildings rocked by the attack. Russia says it intercepted more than 500 drones. At least 17 people, including children, were injured. Today, Russia launched attacks in Ukraine. The war still active more than 4 years after Russia's invasion. The attacks come as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth slammed NATO for not offering enough support for the war in Iran. Hegseth launched a formal review of future U.S. military support for NATO, which can lead to a reduction of ground troops and air power. We're tracking several headlines around the world. The Ebola outbreak in Congo and Uganda has claimed more than 200 lives in its first month, and it's the worst known outbreak at this stage, according to Africa's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. With nearly 900 confirmed cases so far, this outbreak is already 3 times larger than a previous outbreak in Uganda in 2000. Cases are surging, up nearly 40% in just a week, and the virus is continuing to spread across eastern Congo. Africa CDC warned officials are still far from bringing this outbreak under control. A man is under arrest in eastern England after police say he threw a 3-year-old boy into a crocodile enclosure at a zoo. The child suffered serious injuries and is now in critical but stable condition in the hospital. The shocking incident happened at a family-run farm and zoo. Detectives say they do not believe the suspect knew the child, and they're still working to determine a motive. The case remains under investigation. Colombia heads to the polls this Sunday in a high-stakes presidential election. It's a tight race between left-wing Senator Ivan Cepeda and right-wing outsider Alberto de la Espriella. President Trump has endorsed the right-wing candidate, calling him, quote, smart, strong, and a tough leader, and warning the results will be critical to the future of U.S.-Colombia relations. De la Espriella, a criminal defense lawyer and a businessman, has built a national profile as a hardline law and order candidate, but he's also facing scrutiny over the source of his wealth. And I want to bring in ABC News contributor and former Homeland Security official John Cohen for our weekly segment, Assessing the Threat. All right, John, I think you can hear us now. Let's start with that alleged plot to attack the UFC event at the White House. What does this alleged plan tell you about the current environment in the U.S.?
Yeah, it tells me, Lindsay, that we're still in the middle of a highly volatile, dangerous threat environment. And this plot, like others before it, have some similar characteristics. These individuals were not part of an organized group. This was a group of angry young men who found each other online through their participation in a variety of extreme and violence-focused forums. They shared a number of extreme views of anti-government, anti-Jewish views. They seemed to coalesce, though, around a specific shared view or a belief that the federal government was protecting pedophiles, including those that were associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And it was that specific view that led them to develop the plot and decide to conduct an attack intended to target government officials at the UFC event at the White House. Like other plots, they were prepared. They acquired weapons, they developed travel plans, and they used a variety of technologies as a part of their plot. So they incorporated encrypted communications, online communication capabilities, and they incorporated the use of drones, as we're seeing increasingly in other threat areas, into their plan as well.
The plot involved explosive drones, the kind of weapons that we've seen used in conflicts like in Ukraine and Russia. Are drones becoming the tool of choice for carrying out these acts of violence?
Yeah, absolutely. As you pointed out just a few moments ago, if you look at the Russia-Ukraine war or the conflict with Iran, we saw continue to see extensive use of drones. They're able to conduct lethal attacks. They're able to be used for surveillance techniques. They're able to avoid air defense systems, and they can travel long distances to conduct their missions. But what we're also seeing is that terrorist groups, criminals, even hackers are increasingly using drones. Criminal organizations are using them to conduct lethal attacks, to transit illegal drugs, to surveil law enforcement. Drones are now being increasingly outfitted with sophisticated technologies that allow them to serve as cyber attack platforms. We're beginning to see that not only by militaries like Iran's, but also with criminal organizations and intelligence services.
Your team at the Center for Internet Security just released a report warning that drones pose a major threat to large public gatherings and talks specifically about the World Cup. We're already seeing reports of drones disrupting games. Are we prepared to handle a threat like this?
Yeah, we have, some serious vulnerabilities in the U.S. environment, the domestic environment, that add to the potential risk associated with drones. One, we do not have a comprehensive system that allows us to detect drones that are being used for nefarious purposes. We call it air domain awareness. Right now, if you look across the country, it's a series of disjointed, fractured, independent systems that very often can't detect drones because they fly at low altitudes. Second, we don't have a comprehensive plan on what to do when you detect a drone that's involved in threat-related activities. Most of the authorities in that area are limited to the federal government. So for state and local governments, for example, state and local law enforcement, they sometimes are not allowed to take action against a drone that may be involved in threat-related activity.
All right, John Cohen for us. Thanks so much, John. Really appreciate it. Coming up, promising news for millions of Americans trying to pay off student loan debt, plus the growing concerns prompted by the Trump administration's decision to shift around special education and civil rights. We break down the biggest takeaways with a former education secretary. Welcome back, everyone. Student loan rates are about to drop by as much as a full percentage point. The Education Department announced today it will lower interest rates on federal student loans starting July 1st, but it's only temporary, lasting through June 2028. The lower rate applies to the millions of borrowers enrolled in automatic payments or those who enroll in auto pay. Before COVID, more than 80% of borrowers were enrolled in auto pay. Today, it's half that. The Department of Education announced this week that it's moving special education and civil rights responsibilities to other departments. Special education now in the hands of the Health and Human Services, while the Justice Department will absorb civil rights oversight. It's the latest step by the Trump administration to dismantle the Education Department. And joining us now is Arne Duncan, former U.S. Secretary of Education who served under the Obama administration. Secretary Duncan, thank you so much for your time. As someone who served at the helm of the Education Department, what do you make of this move? How is this going to impact education in America as a whole?
Yeah, good evening. It's so ironic this is happening. We just left the Obama Presidential Center, today. Just an uplifting, incredibly moving, inspiring day. And what you see President Trump doing is what he's done consistently is to lie, to create fear, to dismantle, and to destroy. And you would never ask the Department of Agriculture to lead the Department of Defense. You wouldn't, or supervise the Marines. And to somehow think that the Department of Justice or the Department of Health and Human Services can have any expertise in educating kids, it's laughable. It's a farce. But the intent here is not to educate kids, unfortunately. The intent here is to destroy public education. And we have a massive reading crisis in our country. The reading scores for 13-year-olds around the nation are down to 1970 levels. We've lost over 50 years of progress. That should be the focus if we actually cared about kids, cared about education, cared about making our nation stronger. That's not the priority here. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Trump administration officials say students will not lose rights, including a free public education. But some parents worry HHS workers lack the expertise to meet the needs of kids with learning disabilities. Is that a valid concern?
They don't lack the expertise. They have no expertise. There's nothing there. There's no reason. It's not their fault. It's not in their DNA. It's not what they've lived. You have a team of professionals who do this. And again, Linsey, what bothers me so much is Trump always attacks the most vulnerable, children with special needs. 10 million children across the country, parents from every background whose kids are struggling, who need all the help they can get, but to give them less. The Office of Civil Rights protects our most vulnerable students across the country, students who have gone through extraordinary trauma. And it's just so easy for a bully to pick on those that are the most vulnerable, the weakest, the most marginalized. That's his MO, and that's what we're seeing here once again. Nothing new, It's the playbook they constantly run.
The Justice Department's Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights posted, "Today is a new day for parental rights," saying it will restore parental authority, and had this message for parents.
If a school has a policy or practice that blocks you from exercising your rights, we will investigate. If necessary, we will litigate. And if a school continues to violate the law, then that school will not receive federal funds anymore. Parents, your voice is back.
What's your reaction?
Yeah, it's just complete dishonesty. Parents have always had their voice. Schools don't hide anything. This is what they do. They lie. They play culture wars. They create fear, and they do anything to not talk about the real issue, which is the reading crisis, how far behind tens of millions of children are across the country. Education's, it should be the ultimate bipartisan issue. We should all be working together to give our children a better chance at life. That's not going to happen if they can't learn to read. Not good for them, their families, our economy, our country, or our democracy. That should be the focus. And all this time, you never heard Trump one time, not one time, say anything about reading scores and what he wants to do to help improve them. It's not his interest.
And quickly before you go, as you mentioned right at the top of the conversation, you were at today's celebration for the Obama Presidential Center, which opens to the public tomorrow. In a few words, what does this center represent?
Man, it's hope. It's hope. And, we didn't do everything perfectly, as you know, but there were a lot of good people working really, really hard. We sort of joked about the biggest scandal during our time was President Obama had the audacity to wear a tan suit. And we just got to get back to see him, not just him there, but the Bidens there, the Clintons, the Bushes. These are all presidents who believe in democracy. We may disagree on any given policy, but we as a country, we have to get back to that spirit. And today, in a pretty dark time in our nation's history, it was a day of tremendous hope and inspiration. And we have to keep working to get back to that point.
Arnie Duncan, so appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much. Coming up,
thanks for the opportunity. Have a great night.
A World Cup welcome, how Americans are welcoming teams and fans from across the globe, and why Lawrence, Kansas decided to go all in for Team Algeria. Welcome back. The World Cup has brought together teams and fans from all over the world, not only in the cities hosting matches, but also in other communities serving as home bases for the 48 teams. One of the most notable relationships involves Lawrence, Kansas, home of the University of Kansas, which is now hosting the Algerian national team. Lawrence has pulled out all the stops to make the team feel right at home, from turning out for their arrival to creating this landscape art of the Algerian flag. For more on all of this, we're joined by the mayor of Lawrence, Brad Finkeldye. Mayor, thank you so much for coming on the show. For those uninitiated, how did Lawrence come to get involved in the World Cup and host Algeria's team?
Well, we just, we worked with Kansas City and KC 2026, hoping to get a team and obviously using the University of Kansas and their facilities. And we were lucky enough to get Algeria, and it's just been a blessing.
Aside from the moments that we've just showed our viewers, how else have you seen the community and team interact?
Oh, it's been amazing, between their arrival to their open practice, to the Algerian fans coming out. We've had a watch party last night. Obviously, the game didn't come out like we wanted on Tuesday night, but we had a standing room only crowd, and we've had Algerian fans coming from all over the world and all over the country to come to Lawrence, and it's just been exciting.
And so tell us, are you draped in the Algerian flag there?
I am. We've got the Algerian scarf on, and I've been wearing it every day. It's been exciting. We're all in here in Lawrence.
All in, and I know you said that you had the watch party for Algeria's first match against Argentina. How does having the team as part of the community really affect your experience watching their World Cup matches?
Oh, it makes all the difference, but really all the fans that join us at the watch parties. You showed some pictures of the Algerian flag. We had, folks there dancing, playing their drums, teaching us their culture, teaching us their music. And, we know something about, cheering on sports teams here, but cheering on with the Algerians, experiencing their culture has just been a lot of fun.
Algeria has 2 games remaining in this group stage next week. What can we expect from Lawrence for those matches?
Well, we have 2 big parties going on. We're closing down our major downtown with a big screen TV, and We expect thousands of fans for both those games. And, we're confident that they're going to win the next 2 games, and we're going to get them into the round of 32 and beyond.
What do you hope that soccer fans take away from this experience about Lawrence and being a World Cup host city?
I think it's all about, our community and their community coming together, experiencing each other, experiencing their warmth, experiencing different cultures. And, to me, it goes beyond soccer. It goes to what this world really should be about, which is embracing each other, embracing different communities, and just making it a great place to live and enjoy life.
Mayor Finkeldye, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that is our show for this hour. I'm Linsey Davis. Be sure to stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Have a great night.